presenter. Wow.
Thank you. So this is my no, I didn't leave journalism. Think about come here about something I think something that needs. So here's the problem. The economy, that technology has changed the fundamental economic underpinning of the news business. They use impressions online, they're not scarce. And as a result, it's hard to figure out how to pay people like this to do journalism all the time. And I think it's a good idea to solve that problem because in a complex society like ours, it makes sense to pay some people to spend their time finding stuff out and telling people about it. And that's what those guys do. Because we haven't figured it out, it's the end of the world right now. That's what's going on in a lot of people's brains who work in journalism. Doom and gloom, and it's never going to get better. So what I came here to tell you, my main thing is enough with the doom and gloom, because it's not helping, and it's going to make everything harder. There, this is me. Enough with the doom and gloom. So I think that the chief thing that journalism needs right now is to hop on my unicorn and go down the rainbow to Optimism Street, because it's the only way that we're going to solve things. And I'm telling you that this is a realistic way of thinking about things, because this is the best time to be in journalism. We're in double rainbow territory when it comes to journalism. Okay? We've never had broader distribution of our words. We've never had access to more people. We've never been able to tell stories in as deep a way as we can. Now, we've never had more access to advice about how to do journalism better, and we've never had so much access to the people who read our stuff, watch our stuff, the people that Jay Rosen calls the people formerly known as the audience, now our partners in doing journalism. So we need optimism, like Mr. Jackson says. The problem with being doomy and gloomy is that your lizard brain takes over and you just react and you feel under stress and under siege. We need to be open-minded, open our minds to the possibilities, and that's when we're going to solve the problems. I don't have a business model for you right now. I wouldn't be here if I had one. But Clay Shirky, who I love, he says we're in a revolution right now, and that's true. He says nobody knows what will work, and that's true. But I take hope from that because anything might. So the rest of my talk is about a little bit of advice, free advice that I want to give to journalists and publics. The first thing is ditch the old models. Every bit of energy spent on the old ways of making money is energy that's taken away from the new ways of making money. I know where your bread is buttered. I know it's hard to say goodbye to the old ways, but it's the only way that you're going to be able to make money in the new ways. Understand that newsrooms are never going to be bigger. They might get smaller. But understand that your newsroom's actually never been bigger than it is now because so many people have the drive and the ability to help you do your job. Look at all those bloggers. Okay, stop stupid competition. We're being very inefficient right now, hoarding information to keep the other guy from getting it before deadline. Everybody doing the same story because you can't link to the other guy. Can't really afford that kind of thing anymore. That's stupid competition. Look at all those people getting the same stuff. Think carefully before leaping behind paywalls. If the value proposition here is that journalism is vital to democracy, and I think it is, then why do you want to make it harder for people to read your stuff? We need to be way more creative than this to figure out the new business model for journalism. And embrace change. Actually, French kiss change. How change is later, okay? Change is your constant companion for the rest of your life, for rich or for poor. Love change. It's like you can't wait to see change again. It's change. Change is going to happen. It's wonderful. And if you don't like change, and if you don't like journalism, then get out. Because journalism right now needs people who love it so much that they'll do it anyway, even if it's hard. And there's so many people working in journalism right now who are like that, and they deserve to be surrounded by like-minded colleagues. So that's my advice for journalists. My advice for the public is demand quality. It is still entirely possible to make a profit putting out a mediocre product. It won't be for very much longer, but it is possible unless you say you demand more. So expect better than that. Positive reinforcement. There's so much good journalism going on right now. I think better now than ever before. When you see it, tell people. Our engines run on praise a lot of the time. So you have a big role to play in telling people when they do a good job. And that will help. Trumpet it from the highest mountain. You'll get more. Share your ideas. Big media has never, ever been more interested than it is now in hearing from you. So don't be passive. Everybody wants to hear what you have to say. It's going to help. Nobody knows what will work. Clay Shirky says anything might. Keep blogging, tweeting, Tumblring, podcasting, YouTubing, anything that you do in the new media environment, keep it up, because you make this ecosystem so strong, you make it better. And if mainstream media screws us up, which it might, it's really going to depend on whether the smart guys win or the bad guys win, then you are the communication system that knits the society together and makes this democracy work. So keep it up and do it well, because we're depending on you. Thank you.